Hi Libra, thanks for joining me here. To all of our Libras, this will be your September tarot reading for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury. Hey, anything to do with Libra, cross-watching for a Libra, join on in. Welcome into the post. Thanks for being here, for joining me again in this moment in space and time. So happy to be here with you. Remember, these are general readings. Take what applies, spit out the rest. And as we say hello to all of our Libra friends, a big warm hug to all of you. We're going to get a Power Oracle card out for your theme for the reading, but do keep your intention there. The theme for the month of September for you guys: transformation. The energy of the phoenix, okay? The energy of like rock bottom to sky high. Sky is the limit sort of situations, but we need to be witness of the potential. We need to be witness of the power and the abilities, Libra, that you have to reach new heights, to achieve new goals, to see new things. I'm getting a sense that some of you are taking a skill set, perhaps that you've just acquired. This could manifest in so many different ways, but one of the strong ones I feel for our Libras is that there's a skill set that there's been like recently, like maybe acquired. You were given the certificate or the paper or the knowledge, and then you're able now to like take that out into the world and put it on to other things, put your creative spin, put your knowledge into it to promote things to grow. And some of you might just be in situations where you are in salvage mode. It's like picking up the pieces, gathering things up and moving on. But make sure you don't take too much with you, because the true nature of the energy of the transformation, the phoenix energy, is lightheartedness, a light yoke, not being weighed down with material things or being bonded to particular places, things of that nature. The environment has to be conducive to change. And some of you will just feel straight up like breaking free. Interesting, the bird showed up there. And in regards to your air sign, I put a bird in the thumbnail. But let's get right into it. Tarot for you here, Libra. Okay, and then if you want to stay tuned after, we're going to get an angel message out, or a romance angel, and I've been doing poker hands for all of the signs. You guys are sign number 2. Virgo pulled a pair of queens. So Libra, let's see if we can beat a pair of queens. That's coming up later on in the reading, and then just some calendar notes to wrap it up at the end of it all. But thanks again for joining me. If this helps you in any way, please do reach out and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It's super easy to do it, and it helps us keep coming back month to month, all that good stuff. You can find me at Patreon, all kinds of places in the description down below. And I want to thank everyone for being here and wish you all the best in peace, prosperity, joy, abundance, bliss, happiness, harmony, truth, all those good things for our Libra friends and for everyone that's tuned in today. Thanks so much for being here. All right, let's get after it. When it starts, it starts. It's prolonging the inevitable. Here we go. Maybe that's a situation. Libra, maybe you guys have been like prolonging things or procrastinating, or you have someone in your environment who's been doing a little bit of the same. You're trying to help them through it. Or this could be you. Very easily. Talk about it in the mundane, and then we see this. Not so much a procrastination, but just more so of like, how important is it? Does it need to chew into my fun time, into my concentration time, into the time of the day for the conscious mind where you feel the most happy, that you feel energetically uplifted, and you feel at your best at those particular times of the day, whether it's the circadian rhythm or not, but not allowing, things that it's like, hey, if it doesn't happen until tomorrow, it's no big deal. But eventually that stuff, it always comes back, just like the falcon on her arm. That stuff can always come back. It's like, you'll have to do it eventually. So, when it comes to time management, are we feeling that balance, Libra? I think with her hairdo there, we can feel a little bit like we are. With the amount, like there's it doesn't like maybe feel long enough, or it feels like, oh, don't feel any guilt for letting things slide or letting things go. Especially if they're not being affected to anyone else. If it's just stuff in your environment, hey, that's okay. You live the way you want to live, and you do you to the fullest potential of every single minute. Absolutely. That's what you want. Pentacles for me are all about the dimension of time as well, because this is very much a dimension we've moved through, we've awakened through it now, and it's just like it becomes a physical thing. They put value on it, all that kind of stuff. But for you here, center focus. Don't feel bad. And if you're putting things off, just make sure that you're not putting them off to a level where it's like frustrating you or you're feeling worry about it. If you get any sense of that, then you're better off absolutely like nipping it in the butt, taking care of it today. The bird in this picture, much like the bird in the transformation card, is all about the present moment. I'm here. We are here. Why don't you do it? Right? We are here right now. So if you got the time, bend over if you have to. Just get it done. Pick up sticks, chop water, carry wood, all that good stuff. And then it's done, right? And then you don't have to worry about it so much anymore. For some of you, this could be like documentation, documents, red tape, bureaucracy, stuff that you have to get through in order to get to, like hoops, the proverbial hoops that you jump through and stuff like that. Just a sense of a lot of that, you guys kind of getting things in order with this transformation, this rebirth. It's about maybe like new addresses, things like that, things of that nature. Our Libras could be on the go, needing to make sure like insurance is current and, vaccinations, travel, all that stuff is all up to date. And you're jumping through those hoops, doing all that good stuff. All right. Next up, we got a Prince of Wands in reversed here. So slowing down for some of our Libra friends to get back into more of an analytical grind rather than, fantasizing, daydreaming. Perhaps you guys had been feeling like a little bit under the weather mentally and emotionally when it comes to like, wow, what does it all mean? What is the strife in life? To what degree is the difficulty of what you're facing? Can it be removed through your own posture, through your own positioning within your mind as the way that you approach life? Some of our Libra friends might be struggling with the whole approach factor of like, well, life is presenting this way, so I know for a fact, time tested and true, that I'm going to respond in this way, right? Whereas for some of us, that those cycles might be coming to an end, and you might actually be like shutting something down, shutting something off, or actually just telling something to give you your space back, give you respite from it, or like what's the word I'm looking for? You're just wanting to sort of close the door on this, allow it to exist outside of your time and your good-natured thinking, because it has the potential to get you all riled up, right? Trying to process too much emotionally through cerebral and being like, well, there's got to be a reason, there's got to be a definition, there's got to be a, this, that, and the other thing behind it in order for it to make sense. But this card here is just saying, no, step back from it, even face away from it sometimes if you have to, just to get a deep breath and a sense of, this involves me, this involves the etheric realm, it involves my health, my happiness. So how really do I want to approach it versus how have I always approached it, right? Because it might just be a subtle difference, a very subtle change, not leaps and bounds, but a very little thing, right? Even the birds that soar most high in the sky, it takes that initial push for them to get off the ground, whether they're a tiny 1 ounce swallow or a great big, bald-headed eagle, that sort of thing. It all takes that boost from the bottom. Because here you are, and unfortunately this card in a reversal lets me know that some of you might just not have been feeling like self. And some of you have also come to points of brand new awareness. Like I said off the top, I get a sense that there's been new knowledge, new things that have been learned and kind of like downloaded or uploaded into the mind when it comes to knowledge, direction, intellect, acumen, your studies, things of this nature. So now it's like the focus might be a little bit on retention. Don't worry about it, but make sure that everything that you're like learning and doing and coming to understand that you're staying current with it. And perhaps that's the healing message overall in this reading. It's like some things you never forget. Like the first time, like you never forget how to ride a bike. But there are other things where that old saying where it's like if you don't use it, you'll lose it type information, where if you don't put it to yourself to the practical test, put yourself to the test with this stuff kind of on an ongoing fashion, especially if it's some sort of trade or some sort of acumen that you want to have rooted deep down so that it's there to serve you in a lifelong purpose. It's saying you'll have to practice, you'll have to like actuate on this thing multiple times a week, or even just become mindful of it once a day type stuff. But don't let it sort of dominate, or don't let it hold you back in any way. Okay? All right. speaking of being held back, this is what's up in your heart energy. We got a reversal on the death card. So for those of you that are here for romance, relationships, I know we've been talking about you, but the ex, the sex, the texts, and what's next in relationships. Some of our friends here could be dealing with Scorpio energy, and as well, some of you are the one you're with. There's no need to challenge. There's no need to push yourself. There's no need to have any sort of the grass is greener on the other side of the fence mentality right now. This death reversal up in the heart energy is being like, you know what? You're perfect the way you were created. And for people in your heart energy and your loving energy, if their perception is not there and they're trying to change Libra, or they're trying to transform Libra in any way that Libra's not comfortable with it, then Libra's going to back out. That'll be the thing that you're closing that door on. They need to allow, and all of us, if you're cross-watching and have Libra friends, be advised, right? That there's no need to get them to, come out of their shell, or get them to go out of their way, or get them to they like what they like and they don't like what they don't like. It's simple. It's like that for all of us. But just sometimes when it presents from Libra, people are like, oh, Libra, are you okay? What's wrong? What's up to you? Normally you're so bubbly. And you're like, yeah, well, some days I am and some days I'm not. It's the way I have been. Again, these approaches to your everyday and how you tackle problems. Again, this is a card of transformation. We have it up as a theme for our reading. Sorry, let me get this up for you. We have it as up for a theme for our reading as well. But some of you could be experiencing heart energies. You could be stuck to something or someone, or been a little bit bonded to something that you're finally releasing, you're finally breaking free of this month. So if that is a relationship, it's asking you to kind of close the door so that your spirit can uplift from it. And if this is a professional thing or just a working everyday thing, a lot of our Libras, we could see this manifesting in just making sure that, you're being recognized, and the work that you're doing, if it doesn't have immediate results, it is that opportunity to practice, to drill it down in for yourself, to refine it and to make it a lot better than when you first learned the craft or you first learned how to do it. Lots of reversals, more characters up here, potentially some Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. I've kind of been saying Leo for most of but it's because it's Lee, right? Hey, Lee, if you're watching. We got the King of Wands reverse here up in the communication center. So again, Libras, if you're dealing with fire signs at this time, this is something where it's don't give up, be fair. But again, sometimes if people feel like they need to come in railroad situations and just kind of walk about high and mighty and all that kind of stuff, there's no need to appease these people, and there's definitely no need to get in their way. You just transform on your levels. You focus on what's going on upstairs for you, right? New information, this sort of stuff. And if they're coming down on too hard on you, you may just have to be very direct with them and say, hey, you can't talk to me that way, or you might need to check yourself at the door before I go check in with so-and-so over here. It's not like you're going to tattletale on them, but at the same time, you want to defend your grounds. Anybody that's taking too much, right? Anybody that is leaving you feeling bonded or bound. It might be like the old proverbial boss that gives you too much work on a Friday afternoon when you just want to go and that person isn't doing their part, things of that nature. And communications with our fire signs and even air signs, communication seems as if, Libra, for this transformation, you may feel like withdrawing. You may feel like stepping back, sort of like being like that silent partner in the room. That person where it's like when you're there, you're taking it all in, but don't feel any need to interject, to jump in, any of that stuff at this time. Just allow people and their creations to even if they're flaunting it, do whatever they're taunting it, you just be like, no, I've got an inner thing going on right now. I'm just breathing deeply, and you know what? My time will come. I'm on the rise right now. I'm Libra. I'm on the rise. I'm on my way up. So, nice passing you on the way there. Good luck with whatever you're doing, right? But the focus is now on a reemergence, on you going forward, your love lifting you higher through September, through the month, so that you can get there. You're very much rising above some of the others here. Okay. Now, when it comes to this sort of stuff, what we've got looking for here, Libra, is like you can never be too careful. Keep your friends closer and your enemies closer kind of thing. Be very careful with new insight, new inspiration, stuff like that, who you're sharing it with. Some people could be in your environment or coming through that are there just for clout, just to bounce off of you. They see you on the rise, so that definitely attracts other people and other people's bad ideas. The Ace of Wands reverse is definitely a metaphor for a bad idea. Okay, and again, this could be something within your inner visioning, your thoughts, and your about future direction for yourself. If what you're thinking about, or when you're envisioning yourself in the future, or those stories your mind tells yourself at bedtime, where it like leads you down a particular path, if this is not accompanied with change, this is not the right timeline. This is not the best choice for your highest good. The best choice for your highest good right now is all about transformation, because your heart is asking for it. Your heart is demanding things change, and it's very tough because you're having a tough time, Libra. I feel in community groups, relationships being like, it's got to change. Things have got to be different. They cannot go on the way they have been. Can you not see us beating our head against a locker, or can you not see the fact that we're spinning our tires here, and that sort of stuff? So could be great strength needed from our Libra friends to get these messages across to others, or actually having to like step away from these things. Okay, Ace of Wands reverse, but very nice coming in from source. A nice Four of Wands energy. Okay, the Four of Wands can be about invitation. It can be about sacred space. It can also be about engagements, okay, and attending weddings, those sorts of things for our Libra friends. Fall wedding is so beautiful, right? But at the same time, I just get it. This is a sense. It's like that spot where you go to do your best thinking, to do your best independent work, these sorts of things. Shut off the white noise of like all of the radio chitter chatter of the day, right? The commercialism, and it's coming in from source. It's asking you, wherever that place is, could be inside, outside, it doesn't matter. But find that place where you're kind of like engaging with silence as much as possible for clarity and for transformation at this time. These bedtime stories that our mind tells itself when we lay down at night, we combat them in all these different sorts of ways. But the true knockout punch for that stuff is just silence, prana, and breathing. And once you guys have that, you're going to be feeling that warmth bubbling up inside. Just like our friend, the Phoenix down here. A lot of things will change, I get a feeling some of our Libras are going to be changing partners. Some of our Libras are going to be asking for space. Some of our Libras are going to be asking for time. And some of our Libras are going to be like, hey, Jack, you cannot come out at me like that. Because at the end of the day, it's not your place. It's not appropriate, right? So whatever that might, and it's a definite struggle sometimes to find those words and get them out. And I really empathize and feel for that for you this month, Libra. So when it comes to those situations, you do you bide yourself in the time. Oh, we forgot to check the overall energy at the bottom of the deck. And it was the Eight of Pentacles. So for Libra, a lot of this stuff, I feel this is happening for you in the workplace. Okay? Relationships, nothing too much coming out other than like kind of Mr. McDreamboat over here, like, or somebody that you've been thinking or dreaming about that, or any of you in relationships where people are asking you to change. You're like, no, that's not on me. When it's very hard to explain. And I get it here in this reading that it's just trouble to have the right words come out in ways that people can understand them and ways that people can really make use of them, much like the way you guys are exemplifying the way that new knowledge is meant to be made use of when communicating it to others, implementing a new project. All right, just going to cut this deck. I'm curious to see what kind of poker hand you guys get. Because Virgo, they got a pair of queens. Let's see if we can beat Virgo. They're the number one riders right now. All right. The Ace of Wands is up here again. Okay, it comes along with the Two of Wands at this time and the Eight of Wands. So again, this communication, passionate approaches to your communication. Just be mindful. Don't go too deep with this stuff. but the nostalgia of it all, right? The tried, tested, and true. This is the way I've always done it versus this is the new way that I'd like to approach it, right? It'll get rid of this stuckness and get rid of some of this past stuff going on. Let's hold on to this stuff. Let's see if we can hit up a flush here and be the team to beat. We'll just take the top 2 cards. Nope, but we got an ace, another ace. So we could have beginnings. Putting your heart into communication can lead to a new beginning with somebody. And look, we missed it just by once. Love and relationships, for many of our Libras, they may actually be kind of seeming more like a little bit of distraction. That could be the thing that you're putting off, dealing with this other person, or you may have too much on your plate. You're going to have to prioritize about, am I going to get ahead this month with career, self, or do I dump my time? Do I invest all of my time into new relationships and into trying to maybe even better relationships or return to relationships? And my advice to you, Libra, is saying stick to the passion, stick to the self improvement situations, this transformation that we talked about, and this will inevitably change. It must change on its own after. But very nice. A pair of aces for you guys. This could be some twin flame stuff up here. Don't forget, we did have the 4 of Wands. Some of you, and they're aces, some of you could be meeting that special new person in your life for this month. Really good stuff. Let's see if the romance angels back that, and then I'll let you guys go. Thanks for sticking with me this long. I really do appreciate it. And if you're getting a lot out of these readings, like I said, reach out, tab that like button. It helps us out. Okay, your romance angels say this, Libra. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, right? Yeah, so for some of you, you might be like, I'm done with Aries, I'm done with Sag, I'm done with Leo, I'm done with Aquarius, I'm done with other Libras, and maybe now it's time that we look at some of the more like the earthy and watery signs as actually being the best energetic match for you, It's kind of one of those things where it's like, when you find that interesting and opposite person of everything that you've known, and it has the right environment to foster that, sky's the limit. Like we said off the top, the bird's getting there, that little angel's getting there no matter what's happening in the everyday. It's like those thoughts of love are actually kind of that comfort for you, I feel. So if the story at bedtime gets too analytical, too much about the problems of the day, deep breathing and put your heart space and your head space with that loved one, with that romantic partner, past, present, or future. That's going to be helping you guys out huge. All right, calendar notes. Vernal equinox on the 23rd, okay? Full moon on the 14th of September. What else do we have? There's a Saturn stationary on the 18th. That should be interesting. And then a new moon again on the 28th. And there's a lot of other stuff happening in between. Again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Find me over on Patreon if you like. And stick around, come back, set the notifications because we do fun stuff when we go live around here. It's always a time. All right. Thanks again, Libra. We'll see you all again in the very near future. Bye-bye for now. Or now.